So please welcome her, Dame Arlene Phillips. Welcome.
Yes, thank you.
It's interesting, actually, Arlene, because we're all sitting watching that, and I was watching you smiling, and we were smiling, because it was very sad so sad when Len passed. Yeah. Taken too soon, in our opinion.
Yeah.
But a year on, you know, it's lovely to look at him and the memories, and you were smiling too. So can you now look back with fondness at your friendship?
I do look back with fondness, and interestingly, particularly when I hear his voice, because that's the thing that, you know, we can now record voices. Most of us have never thought about recording someone you know you're going to lose and keeping that memory. And the joy in the fact that you can just go to your computer, open it up, and you can get all those wonderful, I'm just a dance teacher from Dartford, or whatever it may be, and you can hear them. So just hearing his voice brings him back, and the crazy times we shared.
How did you actually first meet? Because we were saying there in that film that you were on the dance circuit, but hadn't actually worked together, had you?
No, and I knew him, and I had actually studied with Peggy Spencer, who Len was a great sort of ally of, and so with lessons, dance lessons. So I knew Len, but we came together on the day, and I had no idea Len was going to be there, when they had called my agent from the BBC to say, we're going to make a pilot, and it's probably going to be called Strictly Come Dancing, but it's based on Come Dancing of the lifetime that show spent on the BBC. And we'd like to audition Arlene Phillips as a panellist. And I said, it's a ballroom show. You know, I do musical theatre. And they explained that they wanted judges from all aspects of the dance world. So they asked if I would do a pilot. And it was actually, I was having a birthday lunch that day. And they said, can you move it earlier? We really want you to be there. So my agent said, do it, do it, do it. So I moved my lunch earlier. Then, arriving at this studio, it was chaos. There was, on the floor, there were some pros, Anton was one of them, a few celebrities, Natasha Kaplinsky was another, but the fill-in was sort of musical theatre performers who did a mix of dance. And in the studio, there was one man sitting here, one man sitting there, and I was told to sit here, and they were going to show us some dances, and we just had to talk about them and give them a score out of 10. No paddles or anything like that. So Len was sitting there, and there was this chaos, and nobody seemed to be organising what was going to happen. And suddenly, there we were, being told what we had to do, and it was now late. We'd been probably 2 hours in the chaos, and Len was so unhappy. He'd gone from smiling, nice to meet you, oh, so nice to, talking about the ballroom world, to grumpy Len. Nice to grumpy, really grumpy, in 2 hours, because his lovely Sue, it was her birthday, and he was taking her out for dinner, and he wanted to go before we'd even started. And that's how we met.
But the thing is, he always stayed grounded, didn't he?
Always.
Through all of it, he was always the ground.
Yeah, it was never about money.
No.
It was never about fame. It was about talking about dancing. That's what he did. And he still went back to his studio in Dartford, where that was his baby. You know, he created the ballroom school, and he didn't want to just leave it and say goodbye. And we had adventures together. We went to Southport together. He's feeding me ice cream. It was just...
The best smile ever. I love this smile.
Yeah, his smile, the Royal Albert Hall. And the thing about Len, you know, I went up and down in likability. Len was always loved.
Arlene, you were speaking a little bit about musical theatre, obviously. I had the pleasure of working with you in We Rock You, which you choreographed amazingly. And I was so blown away watching you on the Olivier Awards a couple of weeks ago. I was at home screaming at my telly, and I stood up to give you a standing ovation after you know, the first time you're winning, and you were like, I'm 80, and that's my first award. How did that feel?
Thank you. That was such a crazy moment because we didn't think Guys and Dolls were going to win anything. And suddenly, James Cousins, who I worked with on Guys and Dolls together, suddenly, come on.
Because Guys and they didn't win anything else for that night. You won it for Guys and Dolls, didn't you, for that night?
We won it for Guys and Dolls. Out of 9 nominations, we won it.
And it's interesting you said, you know, I've won first time and I'm 81. And we were talking, I think you heard when you were backstage, we were talking about age and saying that when you're a certain age, you look ahead and say, gosh, I can't imagine being 60, that must be old. Then you get to 60 and you go, oh, it's no age.
Yeah.
How do you feel about age generally?
I have to say, I now feel about age in a way that I never, ever thought I would. And that was when I hit my 80th birthday. Because as far as I was concerned, inside, those numbers could roll along, but I was me, and the numbers didn't count. Numbers didn't matter. I didn't care if I didn't celebrate a birthday. It was not important. I hit 80. For the first time, I was questioning my health. Will I keep going? How long do I have? How long am I going to spend time with my granddaughters? And something in my mindset has changed. I'm still bounding along every day.
You're still working.
I got back from Germany on Sunday after working there on Starlight Express, new Starlight Express on Monday, non-stop, absolutely non-stop.
Do you think having grandchildren has brought that into sharper focus, perhaps?
Of course, but I lost my mother when I was 15. And so all I can think about is I want those kids to know that, you know, when Grandma put her arms around them, that nothing mattered. Nothing in the world mattered. You know, you could make everything all right by being Grandma. And I love and adore them absolutely beyond anything that I feel would happen as I got older.
Arlene,
So
do you
special.
Do you think you've got more outspoken as you've got older?
I've always been outspoken, though.
Yeah, you've always been. But in the job that you're doing now, the climate has kind of changed. We have to
Very
watch
much.
what we say so much now.
Absolutely. I have had to kind of totally reverse my position of teaching to a new me.
Yeah.
And a new generation.
Nice you?
It's a nice me, but it's also a really understanding me. Really spreading understanding and listening to people and involving people, and it's very caring. So it is different, but outspoken. I think I've always been outspoken. Hopefully, I'll be outspoken more because you know, right, as a woman and forever working in all male teams, I had to be outspoken.
Absolutely. You did, and you were, and we applaud you for it. Thank you very much. It's so lovely to see you and to hear about you and Len. Thank you very much. And again, congratulations on your award.